For 3 years, the question at Chelsea wasn't, are they good? It was, when will the chaos stop? We saw the billions spent, we saw the chaos, the revolving door of managers, the sheer number of young, expensive talents arriving at Stamford Bridge. The meme was clear, Chelsea was rich, but rudderless.
Defender to goalkeeper, and as it's cleared into the Chelsea half, there it is! Huge win for Leeds United!
Now, 5 months into the 2025-26 season, the jokes are over. The answer to that question is terrifyingly simple. The chaos has stopped, and the monster has been unleashed. This isn't just a high-scoring team anymore, this is a nightmare to face. The 2026 Chelsea attack is terrifying. They don't just win, they break opponents with a relentless, dizzying speed.
Back by Rudiger. Here's N'Golo Kanté. He's played it through here for Christian Pulisic. 2-8.
And a structural control that is the hallmark of a champion team.
It's Hazard against Adrian, and he blasts it into the roof of the net.
The numbers do not lie. After 12 games, Chelsea has the most shots on target in the entire Premier League. With 23 goals scored, their attack has finally realised its astronomical potential. This new squad isn't just good. This new Chelsea squad is getting scarier.
This is a firework of a football match.
Let's break down the tactical engine driving the transformation under Enzo Maresca.
Oh, magnificent! That's what he's about. Esteban is a shining star.
The fear factor comes from the method behind the madness. Coach Enzo Maresca has successfully implemented his philosophy of positional play and control.
Maresca's doing a brilliant job with the squad that he's got.
But with a crucial twist: verticality. Chelsea typically begins in a 4-2-3-1, but the moment they enter the opponent's half, it transitions into a structured 3-2-4-1 shape. This isn't random, it's a design to create central overloads and guarantee build-up security. The inverted fullback strategy. The key structural change is the role of the fullback, often Marc Cucurella on the left. Cucurella no longer hugs the touchline, he inverts into the midfield to sit next to the pivot, Caicedo or Enzo, creating a defensive 3.5 line in the build-up. This provides numerical superiority against the press and ensures the holding midfielders can pass their way out of pressure, turning possession into a weapon, not risk. The goalkeeper as the quarterback. The involvement of the goalkeeper, likely Robert Sanchez, is vital. He acts as the fourth defender in the build-up, allowing centre-backs more license to split wide. Maresca has anchored this team with structural stability, allowing the true attacking stars to operate with freedom higher up the pitch. To understand why this attack is terrifying, we must compare it to the flawed version of last season. The 2024-25 campaign, while successful in achieving a Champions League spot under Maresca, suffered from 3 fatal attacking flaws that are now completely eradicated. A. Shot conversion versus shot volume. Last season, the attack was largely built on volume and hope. Chelsea generated an expected goals (XG) of 66.85, ranking them third, but they only scored 64 goals. This XG underperformance shows they were creating chances, but the finishing was wasteful. This season, the attack is now producing high-quality chances with better conversion. The emphasis is on getting the ball to the final player in the perfect spot, not just relying on individual heroics. B. The static central threat. Last season, the striker position, Jackson, Nkunku, often lacked the positional intelligence needed to create space. The front line was often static, making it easy for centre-backs to mark zonally. Now, the roles are entirely fluid. The current forward is instructed to prioritise movement, pulling wide, dropping deep, which forces defenders to make split-second decisions, creating the space for the runners, Garnacho, Palmer, to exploit the newly vacated central channels. C. Individuality versus synergy. The 2024-25 attack was often criticised as being based on moments of individual genius, a solo run by Palmer, a flash of speed from a winger. This season, the attack is all about synergy. The winger's diagonal runs and the inverted fullback's position are designed to complement the central movement. This is a structured machine where every player knows where the space is about to be, making the attack truly unstoppable and terrifyingly predictable for the attackers themselves, but unpredictable for the defense. The Maresca system is terrifying because it doesn't just manage the players, it unlocks them. The structure guarantees that the most talented players receive the ball in their zones of maximum influence, leading to explosive individual brilliance. The attack line in 2026 is a fluid, frightening mechanism of specific positional roles. This is how Maresca has maximized the potential of his expensive attackers. A. The cold calculated creator, Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is the system's heartbeat, or he is the indisputable brain of the attack. Established now as the pure number 10, the master of the half space, the dangerous zone between the opponent's centre-back and fullback, his role has evolved from being the primary goal-scoring winger to the pure attacking midfielder fulcrum. As analysis confirms, Palmer is granted more liberty to operate near the goal and less burden to drop deep. His genius lies in his composure. He attacks pressure, delays the pass with his composure, and uses his elite vision to release the vertical runners. His high volume of final third passes completed, combined with his composed finishing, is the definition of a terrifying attacker, a creator who is also clinical. His talent is the ignition for every major Chelsea attack. B. The wide weapons: Neto, Garnacho, Estevao, Gittins. Chelsea boasts a stable of explosive wingers. Pedro Neto offers relentless directness and experience, while Alejandro Garnacho and Jamie Gittins bring chaos and high-speed dribbling. The wingers, featuring stars like Alejandro Garnacho and rising talent Estevao, are not cross merchants. They are vertical destroyers. They hold the width high up the pitch, stretching the opposition, but their main instruction is to attack the inside shoulder of the opponent's fullback, running diagonally toward the goal. The young Estevao has been a revelation, providing the goal-scoring threat that Maresca demands. This constant high-speed threat forces the opponent's entire backline to drop deep and narrow, creating the space in the center that Palmer thrives in. C. Central versatility: João Pedro and Liam Delap. The central striker role is no longer a static target. The center forward, often João Pedro or new signing Liam Delap, is a hybrid role. João Pedro embodies Maresca's philosophy, excelling as a versatile false nine who links play and drops deep to create space for others. This movement pulls centre-backs out of position. Liam Delap, meanwhile, provides a more traditional, physical edge, offering a different tactical threat Maresca can deploy to better weary defenses in the later stages of the game. They are a goal threat, but their primary tactical function is as the target decoy. Their job is to constantly engage the opponent's central defenders, pulling them out of position, a counter movement to open channels for the late-running midfielders, or the penetrating runs of Palmer. This constant manipulation of the central defense is the definition of internal overloads. D. The engine room: Enzo and Caicedo. The individual brilliance of the midfield pivot is the foundation. Moises Caicedo has evolved into one of the league's most press-resistant midfielders, winning the ball and immediately initiating the attack with sharp forward-facing passes. Enzo Fernandez supports this, providing the visionary diagonal balls that bypass the midfield press entirely. Their discipline guarantees that the high-risk attack has a stable, high-quality base to operate from. Individual brilliance is useless without chemistry. The terrifying part of the 2026 attack is the predictable synergy that allows these 11 players to find each other blindfolded. A. The fullback flank synergy: James and Cucurella. The chemistry begins with the fullbacks. Marc Cucurella often plays as the inverted fullback, tucking into the midfield to form a secure 3-2 build-up shape, alongside the centre-backs and pivots, Caicedo, Enzo. This movement frees up the wingers and gives stability. On the opposite side, Reece James often maintains width, acting as the more traditional overlapping fullback, providing the essential cross or a defensive counterbalance to the inverted side. B. The diagonal engine: Palmer to the runners. The most devastating synergy is the diagonal engine. It flows from the Enzo Caicedo pivot through Cole Palmer. Palmer receives the ball, and the wingers, like Garnacho or Neto, are already running diagonally into the channel. This is non-verbal communication. João Pedro's movement simultaneously creates a vacuum by dragging defenders, and Palmer exploits it by hitting the runner with a perfectly timed pass. This creates a terrifying high-speed attacking triangle that is impossible for static defenses to handle. C. The midfield overlap. Because the central forward line is so fluid, the secondary chemistry is the midfield overlap. The forwards, João Pedro, Delap, create the vacuum by drawing attention, leaving gaps for midfielders like Enzo Fernandez and even Jamie Gittins when operating centrally to make dangerous late runs into the box. This is positional play perfection. The attacker creates the chaos, and the midfielders arrive to apply the unmarked decisive finish. D. The counter-press connection. The final piece of chemistry is defensive. The immediate, synchronized high press, led by the Caicedo-Enzo pivot, is a coordinated trap. When the ball is lost, the collective action forces the turnover high up the pitch, and because Neto, Garnacho, and Estevao are already positioned in advanced areas, the recovery is instantaneous, turning a defensive transition into a sudden, terrifying new wave of attack. The reason this attack generates fear isn't just the goals they score, it's the sheer physical pressure they apply for 90 minutes. The unstoppable engine room. The engine room, commanded by Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, has achieved true synergy. Caicedo's intensity and ball-winning ability have been instrumental, acting as the team's security deposit. This duo allows the front line to commit high numbers, knowing that if possession is lost, the recovery press will be immediate and effective. The relentless counterpress. Maresca's system demands the counterpress be used as an offensive weapon. When possession is lost in the attacking third, the nearest three players immediately swarm the ball carrier. This high energy ensures that opponents never have the time to settle or launch a clean counterattack. The terror is psychological. The defense knows that even the winning ball only buys them 2 seconds of reprieve before the Chelsea wave crashes down again. Depth is the final punch. And finally, the sheer depth. Chelsea's bench, often featuring talents like Marc Guiu or Jamie Gittins, means that Maresca can substitute pace for pace, bringing on fresh, world-class attackers after 90 minutes. This isn't about resting players, it's about maintaining an impossible intensity, delivering the final, suffocating punch. The billions spent were a joke for years, but the maturity of the young core and the tactical clarity provided by Enzo Maresca have turned that spending into a terrifying reality. The 2026 Chelsea attack is terrifying because it is structured, relentless, and built upon a foundation of athletic dominance that few teams in Europe can match. They've turned chaos into control, and control into an absolute suffocating terror for every defense they face. They've achieved dominance through structure, adaptability, and positional intelligence. Chelsea 2.0 is not just a team in development, it is the finished product, ready to challenge for every major trophy. Let me know in the comments which opposing team has the best chance of stopping this terrifying Chelsea attack line, and why. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dive tactical analysis.